The term no self means that the self is empty. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. The sense of self is empty because it doesn't have any ultimate substance. It's something we use to function. It has no power of its own. Our being is the power that allows it to function. When we realize that, it's just an appearance. So it appears as a self, but we call it no self because although it exists dependently. It's not independent, it's dependent on awareness to exist at all, just the way a wave is dependent on the ocean to exist. You cannot have a wave without an ocean to support it, but you can have an ocean without waves. The ocean of consciousness is the fundamental reality, and if waves appear, it's just the ocean. So the self is an appearance on the ocean of your being, and it's infinite and eternal, and whatever it appears as is temporary, just like a wave. It's not that there's an ocean and a wave, there's just the ocean. It's not that there's a self and your true nature or your being. There's just your true nature, and the self is an appearance of you. And that's the only substance it has. It's truth itself. So that's what you're dealing with. So the point is to be that fully, to be that consciously. If people use the concept of no self to hide, or a form of denial, or spiritual bypassing, they're making the mistake that the self doesn't exist, that it's nothing. See, nothing is a concept. There's no such thing as nothing. There's reality. There's not nothing because nothing is nothing. It's like there's reality, and then there's what might be considered an illusion, but that means it doesn't have any substance. No one's ever found nothing. No one's ever proven nothing. It's merely a concept. It's like saying we don't know what the shape of the earth is. It's generally spherical. To be more precise, we could say it's oblate because it's spinning on an axis, and so it slightly bulges at the equator. So that's called oblate. But it's basically spherical. That works. It's a model. It's a map for what it is, but we don't know what it is. No one really knows what the shape of the earth is or what a perfect circle looks like. There isn't one. The mind tells us that we know what things are, and we really don't. So the mind describes things, and it's an appearance. So the self is like that. And it does have a certain kind of dependent existence. But it's not the case that it is not, or that it's nothing. We're not saying that the earth is nothing, like there's no earth. That's a form of denial that can lead to dissociation, depersonalization. It's really unpleasant. It's alienated. It's flat. It's weird. It's not pleasant at all. And it can be a certain kind of stoic, determined effort to hide from life, hide from feelings, hide from emotions, to treat other people as objects and just basically lie to yourself and be in denial. So that's an error for that reason. An illusion seems to be the case, and we're not going to say that it doesn't. It's just that it isn't. So there's what is, and then there's what appears that in some sense is not, and yet it does appear to exist. It appears to be separate. Again, like waves on the ocean, we can see a wave, any wave. We can call it a wave. We can ask our friend, hey, do you see that? Like we see a surfer out, like in Hawaii, surfing on this big wave. Like, oh, cool, look at that wave, man. It's amazing. It's just the ocean. It's an appearance of the ocean. So we realize the wave is just a passing phenomenon that doesn't have its own substance. That's the way the self is, the separate self. So no self is just pointing to that. It's usually hyphenated. So it's neither the existence of something nor the non-existence of something. It's something in between that. It's an appearance, or it's empty. We could easily look at the wave on the ocean and just focus on its oceanness and realize that's the ocean. We can see that that's all it is, and yet we could easily in conversation describe a wave and it's not a problem. In a similar way, I can meet someone and say, "Hi, I'm James, how are you?" That doesn't mean that's who I am. That means that's a temporary form I'm using that is an aspect of formlessness that seems to have its own power or its own substance, and it doesn't. See, I'm aware of that. Like a lazy curl of smoke drifting in the air and just dissolving. It doesn't have any fixed form or substance. So in that sense, like the no hyphen self, the lived experience of that, is that a form of hiding? No. It's upfront, it's honest. It would be a form of denial to say that you don't exist as a person. It's putting things in their proper context. It's rendering unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, Caesar being the worldly appearance. Render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, render unto God the things that are God's. The things that are God's, that's the essence, that's the truth. So live that, be that, and be happy. You don't have to hide. I kind of hide in plain sight. The fact is, most people don't understand any of this stuff and wouldn't recognize the essence of what we're talking about. Everyone's heard of meditation, everyone's heard of God, everyone's heard of Buddhism and Zen. It's become a popular word. But to really know, there's a quote in my book from Joel Goldsmith where he says, I'm paraphrasing, but he says, everyone knows God, but they don't really know God. Everybody knows what that is, the name, the form, the idea, but the essence, most don't know that. Most have not awakened to that, realized it. So when you realize it, it's silent, it's peaceful. And the people that don't know what it is don't care. They don't notice. Good, let them be oblivious. I mean, if someone's wrapped up in some kind of dream and they don't notice that dimension of that stillness, that peacefulness, it really is, when I say good, I mean, yes, of course, because that's what's happening right now. If it's happening, allow it. And then the people that get you, that can relate, that have a sense of that dimension of stillness or peacefulness or truth or being about you, that realization, they'll sense it. And they'll want to be your friend. And you may end up talking about it and sharing it, but there's a trust there. So you're not seeking for anything. You're just shining, and the people that notice it will come to you. But you're definitely not hiding. I mean, you don't have to. I don't recommend that anyone hide in a concept, any kind of quote-unquote spiritual concept. Like you can go around saying, I'm invisible. It's like, you're not. And yet, when you realize the truth of what is, you're visible to the ones that matter. You're basically invisible to people that don't care. It sorts itself out. You don't have to worry about it. But you're available. Isn't there something you could put out on your front lawn and no one would notice it? Like grass. No one really notices that. Everything is hidden in plain sight. It's not that there's no self, it's that the self is empty. It does appear to exist, and to deny that is absurd. So you can live it fully, you just realize who you are. It could be like you're an actor playing a role. The role isn't who you are, and yet you can fully embody it when you know who you are. And it's fine. It's even fun. You're not saying the role doesn't exist. You're not saying the costumes don't exist, the script doesn't exist. No, you're not saying that. You're saying that's not real. It's very different.